It's time now for the Peter Channel 7 o'clock news on this Tuesday evening, August 2nd, 2016. Good evening, everybody. I am Peter Wiggins, and I have your 7 o'clock news announce. The top story at the 7 o'clock hour on this Tuesday evening is President Obama on Tuesday escalated his criticism of Donald Trump, called him unfit to serve as president as a Republican presidential nominee. Failed censure from members of both parties for disparaging the parents of the fallen Army captain. Meanwhile, Trump refused to back House Speaker Paul D. Ron in his upcoming primary election, saying in an interview Tuesday that he is not quite there yet in endorsing his party's top-ranking elected official. In New York City, NYPD Commissioner Bill Bratton announced Tuesday his resignation after a long and storied career in law enforcement. That CEO of the Democratic National Committee and two of the highest-level staffers left the organization on Tuesday in the wake of a committee-sacked email controversy. Richmond, Virginia, there's a city known for its history. Its hosted Patrick Henry's Give Me Liberty, Give Me Death speech of the capital of Confederacy and the rich tobacco tradition in South Richmond, where millions of Marlboro cigarettes remain. As Richmond rails and Kane homecoming. An African-American woman was killed and a boy was injured during a standoff near Baltimore, in which police said the women aimed their shotgun at officers while holding a 5-year-old in one arm. 2 chemical gas attacks have been reported in northern Syria, one in the region where a Russian helicopter was down and the day earlier, killing all 5 people aboard. Troublesome Earl forms the Caribbean hurricane watch is issued that Earl will bring in heavy rain to portions of Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. Throughout the Tuesday night, bleeds in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula will be threatened midweek. And take a look at the latest on Tropical Storm Earl. It's 5 p.m. advisory, 16.4 to the north, 81.5 to the west. Maps the same winds 50 miles an hour. Movement west at 60 miles an hour. Tropical Earl is expected to pass near the Honduras Bay Island in its way to Belize. The government of the Cayman Islands is continuing the tropical watch for the Cayman Islands. A summary watch is warned today. Tropical warning is effect for Punta Island, Mexico, southward to the Belize, Guatemala border, Cabo Gracias, Dios, westward to the Honduras, Guatemala border, including the Bay Islands. A hurricane watch is effect for Punta Island, Mexico, southward to the Belize, Guatemala border. For storm information specific to your area, please monitor the products issued by your National Meteorological Service. At 5 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, the center of Tropical Storm Earl was located near latitude 16.4 to the north, longitude 81.5 to the west. Earl is moving toward the west near 60 miles an hour under this general motion and is expected to continue by Thursday. On this track, the core of Earl is expected to pass just north of the Honduras Bay Islands Wednesday afternoon, and they will be very near the Belize coast early Thursday. Maximum sustained winds are near 50 miles an hour, 85 miles per hour gusts. Some stranded forecasts Earl could be near hurricane strength as it approaches Belize and Yucatan Peninsula. Tropical storm force winds extend outwards up to 90 miles an hour to the north of the center. The estimated minimum set pressure is 1,002 millibars at 29 inches. Hazard affecting the land. Wind tropical storm conditions are expected to first reach the coast of Honduras by late tonight, making outside preparations difficult and dangerous, and will reach Mexico and Belize within the warned area by Wednesday night or early Thursday. Hurricane conditions could begin in Mexico and Belize within the hurricane watch area Wednesday night or early Thursday. Rainfall. Earl is expected to produce additional 2 to 4 inches of rainfall with Jamaica. Total rain accumulations of 8 to 12 inches are expected to portions of Belize, Honduras, and Guatemala, and the Yucatan Peninsula over Mexico with possible isolated maximum amounts of 16 inches in Mexico and Belize. Those rains could result in life threatening and flash floods and mudslides and storm surge. A storm surge will raise water levels by as much as 2 to 4 feet above normal tide levels above the immediate coast of Belize and eastern Yucatan Peninsula over the north, where the sort of big snowfall. New coastal surge will be accompanied by large and damaging waves. And I'll have the local weather coming up on the Weather Segment of Peter Channel 7 o'clock news. Now back to the newscast. Even with the U.S. launching airstrikes in Islamic State stronghold in Libya, the battle uproot the extremists from the oil-rich North African nations expect to be long and difficult. Thousands of mourners gathered Tuesday in ruined France for the funeral of Reverend Jacques Camel, the French priest slayed by 2 Islamic radicals last week in a Catholic church. Lausanne, Switzerland. The president of the IOC on Tuesday defended the refusal to blanket ban for all Russian athletes at the Summer Games, saying the damage would be too great. Sao Paulo. A helicopter pilot working for F1's Bernie Ecclestone was arrested on accusation of involvement in kidnapping the CEO's mother-in-law. Chennai, India. The search for the Indian Air Force plane missing over the Bay of Bengal with 29 people aboard had been hampered by the plane's lack of underwater locator. Asuncion, Paraguay. Paraguayan police raided a Brazilian drug lord's prison cell to find a luxurious 3-room cell fitted with plasma television and a library. Sterling, Virginia. As criticism swells in the GOP ranks, Donald Trump said to Tuesday he's in support of the two party's most prominent leaders in the upcoming congressional races. Washington DNC CEO Amy Dacey resigned Tuesday over leaked emails that show favoritism by party officials toward Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders' media reports. Washington polling bumps enjoyed by Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton in the days followed by the party's conversation came as others voted to decrease sharply. Ashburn, Virginia, speaking at a rally in Virginia on Tuesday, Republican Donald Trump was presented with a gift from a supporter, the Men's Purple Heart Medal from Vietnam. Lockhart, Texas, a team from the National Transportation Safety Board is collecting the last of the wreckage from the hot air balloon that plummeted in sun-scorched Texas pasture in a crash that killed 16 people. Billionaire Warren Buffett has spent a lifetime building financial empires, funding reams of business advice, books, and folksy invests in mantras. A 19-year-old man was shot and killed 3 people on a Saturday in his party in suburban Seattle was so infamous with a newly purchased AR-15 semi-automatic rifle that he parked his car across the street and read the fireman's instruction manual. Atwater, California. Leonardo Sanchez was sleeping peacefully on a bus carrying him in Oregon to pick blueberries when he suddenly was thrown face first into the backseat in front of him and working him into a horrific scene and crash and chaos and death as 5 killed in a highway full of whips fell out of the bus in California crash. Aetna has raised concern its participation in Obamacare, making it the largest insurer to cast steps into the future in individual exchanges. Detroit U.S. auto sales wilted in July as hot weather and softening demand kept many buyers at home. Sales rose less than 1% over last July to just over 1.5 million new cars and trucks over the Autodata Corporation. When Uber Technologies Incorporated traded its fortune Chinese business to a second-hand homegrown rival to the Shenzhen technology company, the Choice Local, to promote the veterans need online travel business. Another surge in demand for firearms, particularly new products, posted CERM, Wiggins and Company Incorporated a 34% surge in the second quarter profit of $23.5 million. Richfield Park, New Jersey, Samsung revealed in the Galaxy new 7 large screen cell phone in an attempt to take business from rival Apple. Washington. Lockheed Martin Missiles and Fire Control awarded $58 million for the military sales contract modification to enhance Qatar and Saudi Patriot missile systems. Washington. Bofar Information Technology Systems received a $35 million U.S. Army contract for support of the Persistent Surveillance Citizen Service Aerostat program. Groton, Connecticut, the Virginia-class submarine USS Illinois recently completed its Alpha Sea Trails to chill dynamic electric boat, and that's on Monday. Okay. Taking a look at the stocks. The Dow extends its losing streak to 7 days as it's down 9.7 points at 18,313.77. S&P 500 down 13.81 points at 2157.03, and Nasdaq down 46.46 at 5,137.73. Drilling and Freshwater sealed the demise at St. Paul. William Evans could still pose a threat today. To learn the truth, the Huffington Post reached out to Dr. Loretta, professor of planetary science at the University of Arizona and the principal investigator for OSRS-REX. Florida just survived the warmest year on record, but no time relief. Federal climate scientists issued an annual report Tuesday ahead. The steering news to pass along. Get used to it. So far, the only exceptions of sun in life we found are right here on our own planet. It's not so far. Like the trend that we set out the spacecraft deep in the reaches of our own galaxy and so far still remain alone. Miami hotels said that one day after the Center for Disease Control issued a historic secret travel advisory to their city, then a number of non-travel related infections in Miami-Dade rose to 15 that they see no tip in the class demand, but there. While there was a low incidence of prostate cancer diagnosis among men on drugs, researchers called statistically insignificant. But the use of the specific yeast and cells held in liquid, researchers from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology showed in the paper last week that the device could manufacture a sensory dose of biopharmaceuticals for doctors in remote areas. Longtime Christie aide Maria Cornell said that it blends a vote for Hillary Clinton and that after Donald Trump's nomination, Republicans are at a moment when science isn't an option. U.S. Senator Ron Johnson said he doesn't expect to join GOP presidential nominee Donald Trump at a Wisconsin campaign stop this weekend. Alright, looking at some local news from the Attleboro Sun. A proposed commuter rail station in Pawtucket could help ease congestion in area depots, particularly the South Attleboro, state officials said Tuesday. The federal government recently awarded a $13.1 million grant to help pay $40 million station near the Pawtucket Central Falls line. Those cities in Red Island would pay for the rest, as the Pawtucket Central Falls line closed in February of 1981. July ended on a dry note that reflected the entire month and also brought plenty of scorching days. Attleboro Everett Mann-Crosser, one of the most wanted sex offenders in Massachusetts, was nabbed Tuesday morning on a Falmouth Street in Attleboro. The legislature has passed a bill, created a commission that studied issue of bulletin in the public house and complex of the issue raised by Edinburgh residents over the years. Salem, Massachusetts, a Massachusetts man who police had turned himself in for a killing of strange rifle has been ordered without bail. The Boston Globe reports that 50-year-old Douglas Steves has appeared on Tuesday in Salem District Court. He's charged with murdering and strangling of a 48-year-old Camilla Saunders in her Salem home. The Essex District Attorney's Office said in a statement that Steves, who was believed to be homeless, confessed to Salem police about 3:40 a.m. on Tuesday that officials went to Saunders' apartment. She was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Boston U.S. Representative Stephen Lynch has called on Congress to reconvene to address President Barack Obama's request for emergency funding to combat the Zika virus. Alright, take a look at New England's alerts in motorcycle crash on Route 20 in Prospect Street in Auburn, Massachusetts. Pickup truck versus SUV with relevant injuries reported on scene. Use caution, respect delays in the area. Peter Children's time, 7-11 on this Tuesday evening, and it's time now for sports report tonight. The Boston Red Sox will be taking out the Seattle Mariners. Game time, 7:10 p.m. Seattle time, which is 10:10 p.m. here in Massachusetts. Los Angeles Dodgers outfielder yesterday did not travel the team to Denver after being told Monday he would be traded and demoted. Owens Mills, Maryland. The Baltimore Ravens on Tuesday wait running back Trent Richardson in what might be the former first-round pick's last opportunity to return to the NFL. There have been 5 Olympic women's soccer tournaments beginning in 1996 to the first edition in the United States 5 years after winning the inaugural Women's World Cup. Tied in Norway with a late penalty in the semifinal, then won. Tyron Matthew at Arizona Cardinals agreed to a 5-year, $62.5 million deal. The race towards the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, nearing the final straight and anticipation about the opening ceremony is that fever pitch. 5-time women's world players like Erin Modern completes her 4th Olympic in Brazil, while her 38-year-old teammate Formiga is going to her 6 games and looking forward to the continued streak of her appearing at every women's Olympic football game. With the 4 horsemen in the Upper Clubs apparently settled up and ran toward Rio's been claimed that Brazil organizers are making preparation for the worst ever Olympic Games, but despite a warlike Espenberg. Peter Children's time is now 7:12 on this Tuesday evening, and it's time now for a traffic and transit report. Let's sunny MBT, where the subway system is looking good on the commuter rail. Please board the inbound Worcester line trains and outbound platforms at Freeman and Wellesley Farm stations until 7:30 p.m. And please board outbound Worcester line trains and inbound platforms at Wellesley Farms at Framingham stations until 7:30 p.m. Franklin train 7:24 at 7:05 p.m. Inbound is departed 4 o'clock, 10-20 minutes behind schedule due to delayed arrival of equipment. And on the ferries, they are looking good. Alright, take a look at the highways and byways of New England. Highways and byways in New York City are Sago, Merritt Parkway and eastbound side, Lowell and Milford, Connecticut. Route 21 westbound side is backed up from 91 to Bradley Field in Winslow, Connecticut. Acton, Rhode Island, 146 on the northbound side. It's slow from 295 Lincoln to Route 99, but otherwise, highways and byways of Rhode Island are looking good. 91 on the northbound side is backed up for the northbound stretch. Service Expressway on the southbound side, stop and go for the Mass Pike in Boston all the way out to the South Physics Expressway. The Braintree split in Braintree, and Route 3 is backed up from the split all the way out to 18 in Weymouth and Derby Street. 120 on the northbound side is backed up from the split all the way out to Route 24 out in Randolph. Route 24 southbound side is backed up to 120 in Randolph. 93 on the northbound side, so from the Zig Bridge all the way to the 16 in Medford. Mass Pike westbound side, also to Newton Corner. Route 1 on the northbound side is back to Brand. Route 60 in Rear. 93 on the northbound side is backed up to the Wilmington stretch. 120 on the southbound side is backed up to Brand. Route 3 in Burlington. 95 on the southbound side, also after 495 up in Newburyport. Up in Northern New 89 and 91 on the southbound side is backed up out of Canadian up in Vermont. Route 59 on the northbound side is backed up in Southern Quebec after U.S. border headed towards Montreal. New York State 3 eastbound side, Lowell and 390 stop at Rochester, New York. And Pennsylvania Turnpike is looking good from Philly to Pittsburgh. And Interstate 80 westbound side, it is backed up in the western Pennsylvania headed towards Youngstown, Ohio. Peter Children's time is now 7:14 on this Tuesday evening, and it's time now for a weather report. And We got a rainy start this morning, but look what it turned out to be, a beautiful evening in the weather department. And if you got outdoor activities, everything's a go this evening. As a 7-day forecast goes like this. For the night, most coast got about 56 degrees. Northeast about 5 miles come in the evening. For Wednesday, most coast got about 84 degrees. Light variable wind coming northeast about 6 miles in the morning. For Wednesday, clear skies with about 56 degrees. South about 5 miles come in the evening. For Thursday, Sunday, most coast got about 83 about 60 degrees. Coming south run 6 miles in the afternoon and shift to the southwest run 3 to 6 miles an hour. For Friday, Sunday, forecast got 85 about 65 degrees. Saturday, check your shots. Parts of the podcast 85 about 65 degrees. Chest base is 40%. Sunday, the most clear sky about 86 about 63 degrees. Monday, the most clear sky about 82 about 60 degrees. And for Tuesday, sunny sky about 85 degrees. Currently, not near its clear skies at 69 degrees with a humidity of 87%. And that is going to be it for the Peter Channel 7 o'clock news. And it's August 2nd, 2016 on a Tuesday and Tuesday. Have a good evening, good presentation. See you at with an overnight news report right after the sports round, right after the Boston Red Sox Seattle Mariners game. I hope you have a good and safe evening.